Countdown being sent down to the drivers. We are watching for jumps. And off of 3 and 4, we are racing for Rowdy at Beachside. Side by side already for the first place spot. Mir going to get the better run off the corner on the outside off of turn number 2. In through 3 and 4, Mir's going to lead the charge here on lap number 1 of 110. Dimitri, or Victoria, going to find herself in the pit lane. Well, Raph battling fiercely up here with Mir for the first place spot. Up the racetrack goes Mir. He's going to put the 32 up the racetrack as well. Both clanging up into the outside wall off of turn number 4. Mir going to lead that lap. He's going to dive all the way down below the apron as the field is spread thin here at Beachside, as that tends to happen at this racetrack. And we see it a lot in the modifieds. We've seen it in late model series prior, and that is where Beachside tends to be at its best with these strung out long run type races. Not always the most entertaining, not always the most exciting, but it gets the job done. It definitely gets the job done as Mir makes his way off of turn number 4. It looks like he's starting to slowly creep up on his teammate of Victoria, who's currently in last and might be put a lap down very, very shortly. He wasn't expected to come today. He said vocally in the lobby chat earlier, I think, that he just wasn't up for it. He's not feeling that great. As the 32 seems to be starting to closing in a little bit on the 11. Just maybe. Health should be the utmost priority of everybody, and that includes even online racing drivers such as ourselves. But just in general and in all aspects of life, health is a very important thing that everybody should be taken as seriously as possible. And I also think it's just a general reminder to appreciate our loved ones and make sure to appreciate every moment with them, especially because of just how unpredictable life can be. That being said, and without getting a little too emotional, and keep it as professional as we possibly can, the 32, just about 4 car lengths, maybe 3 out from the 11. He has started to close in just a little bit, little by little each lap. And I think Mir has started to stop gaining on the 45. I think she's starting to actually pull away now. She's about 2 corners away from Mir, and it looks like we might have a battle brewing up for first here between the 32 and the 11 very, very shortly. I know I keep saying that, but it does appear to be slowly brewing up. We will see. I mean, just a minute ago, we were seeing Mir run a pretty bonsai line. He'd be going under the apron. And it looks like he's discovered that's maybe not the best way to get around this place, because I'll give him that. Beachside is not an easy track to get around. I mean, it'll carry you up into the wall almost every single lap if you're not careful. And we can see it with the way these guys are just getting off the corner, and it's just carrying them into the wall. That's the kind of racetrack this place is. And it was a similar thing in the modifieds too. Raph remembers that, and pointing that out again, he has the most experience, besides maybe Nico as well, at this racetrack. So they know how this place is, they know how it handles, but they haven't been here in anything that's not a modified. So again, it's very interesting to see how these guys interact with this racetrack as the night goes forward. And I think Mir has started to close in on Victoria again. Now, what was a 2-corner difference between the two has now been spliced into about 1 corner out from his teammate. And Raph has slowly but surely started to lose an immense amount of ground on the run that he had on the 11 earlier, which is very unfortunate. And Nico has kind of just been puttering in, well, where else but third. He is hauling ass to the 45 right now. He's nearly there. Bit of a lag spike on my end, and it looks like blue flag will be displayed for the 45. That is a rare sight. 45 about to be put a lap down. And there it is, clear off of turn 4, and Mir's got clean air in front of him. Not what you want to see if you're a 45 fan, and now Raph's going to have to try and catch his way up there. And I'll tell you what, if Raph, for whatever reason... Oh! Caution. And it'll be Mir with control of the field on this restart as we get ready for the first restart of the evening. Bets are in, and we are off and away from Beachside once again. Already a little bit rough for the start. Raf not wasting any time. He is side by side racing off a 3 and 4 with Mir to the line. It's a drag race, and Raf's going to get the better of him on the inside lane. Mir going to try the crossover move, trying to complete it here in 3 and 4. Wrap up the racetrack. Here comes Victoria now challenging to make it a 3-car battle for the lead. Nearly to the rear bumper of the 11. She can't quite get there in 1 and 2. She's going to try to set him up in 3 and 4, but she can't. Raf to her inside. Raf's going to reclaim second, and she nearly falls back to fourth with Nico on her inside. Nico clear for third, and that is going to allow Mir to start running away with it once again, back to where he started. Back to where he left off, I should say, and Raf is trying desperately to catch up to that 11 car in front of him. Gets a run, washes up the racetrack, loses a little bit of time, but he's nearly there once again. And he's going to lose it just as fast as he gained it. Yeah, again, this is a difficult track. You definitely want to take what you can learn and get from this racetrack from the people you are running behind. And honestly, he was running a lot better when he was running Mirror down in 1 and 2 and being able to set up a pass coming into 3 and 4. I think mostly that's kind of how Ocean City runs. You can set up a pass in 1 and 2, but it's a little bit more rare than to set up a pass on the back straight away like you can off of 1 and 2. There we go. Raf starting to gain in again. Can he gain some ground? Immense ground here in 1 and 2. He's going to try, but he hits the apron, washes him up the racetrack. If you could F3X me, I'll delete the cars. But as we talk about that, Raf has slowly reeled in Mir. He's going to lose a little bit of time again, but he's going to try to gain it back here in 1 and 2. An excellent corner for the 32. He's going to try to set up a pass here in 3 and 4. Goes for it. Nearly wipes the 11 out. Getting to his inside corner panel, Raf being very aggressive. Oh my God. Raf is not holding back any punches. He wants that lead, and he wants it bad. And again, as I stated, I mean, how can you not? This is one of those tracks where he has the most experience at compared to everybody else. If you're going to win, do it at a place that you know you can do it and have the know-how and the ability to do so. There it is. Battle for first. He gets there side by side for the first place spot. Around goes Mir. That is devastating news for the 11. Goes around on the front straightaway, gets loose off the inside corner panel of the 32, and off Raf goes. So the race is Victoria around, Nico around, and that's going to be a caution. One thing leads to another, and that was respect. That was respect. Time in command of the field will be the 32 of Raphael, Rocket Man himself. Coming off a 3 and 4, we are racing again from Ocean City, or Beachside Speedway, I should say. And already, like I said, he's back to business. Mir not wasting any time. He's to the inside of Raf, side by side through 3 and 4. Washing up the racetrack is Raf, and here comes Mir. He's going to lead them to the stripe. Crossover move off of turn number 2, side by side. Just like that, Mir taps his inside corner panel, gets a little bit wiggly. Raf with a crossover, side by side, each and every lap with these two. You're from Beachside. This is excellent racing. This is when this track is at its best, and up the racetrack goes Raf. Mir punts the 32 out of the way. He says, I'm done with your bullshit. And that leaves him in the clutches of the 45. Now Victoria has a chance to battle for second. Yeah, he is there. He is hunting him down like an absolute dog right now. Sets up a pass coming into 1 and 2. Can't get there. Nearly misses. They are hungry for it today here from Beachside. I don't think I've seen anybody drive this aggressive at this racetrack. Raf washes up the racetrack, but he gains time, though. Nearly to the rear bumper. He's nearly there. Can't get it. It's so painstakingly close each time. At the stripe, he's only just a car length away from the 11, and one mistake is all it takes. There it is. Sets up a pass here in 3 and 4. They make contact. Side by side. Oh my God. Bumping and shoving. Trading paint down the back straightaway here from Beachside. Side by side off a 3 and 4. Raf's going to get it at the line. They're on the wall. And Raf is around in 1 and 2, trying to keep it together. And that might just be it for the 32. And Nico and Victoria going on to battle for the lead. What a turn of events. There could, I mean, the 95 and the 45 have had each other's throats the entire race, just like the 11 and 32 have. It's been a duet of rivalries tonight, so I'm doubting we'll see anything different up here for the front for the lead. And Victoria, respectfully, has not been the dominant driver of today, so we might not see her able to pull away from Nico like she's been able to do in previous weekends or race days. As we are closing in on, I believe it is 20 laps to go here from Beachside Speedway. That was intense. That was a good battle again. The 11 showed his gratitude for what just happened, turning the 32 before he went on his merry way into the third place spot. He's definitely not happy with what just occurred, but I'll tell you what, that 11 is starting to sneakily close in. He's been eating chunks into that lead. Hold the phone. He was about a straightaway and a half away just a few laps ago. He is now only maybe a corner and a half now from the 95. But the question is, will he have enough time to get up there? And I guess, like I said, Victoria has not been the dominant car of tonight. Normally, we are so used to her being able to pull away from the field. It's just not happening tonight. Nico has kept her within striking distance this entire time. I'm not sure what he's waiting for. Maybe he's waiting for the last lap, or maybe he's just running in her tire tracks until 5 to go. But he's running his own line, it appears. He's not following Victoria, and he's not going for the best line. Actually, he went for the best line there. And as I say that, look who's in the background. Look who is there. And here comes Nico battling for the lead. This is what Mirror wants to see. This is what Mirror wants to see. Because if these two mess up in the front, that gives Mirror all the time in the world to catch up. With 9 to go, Mirror now back within striking distance of his teammate, just barely through 1 and 2. We might have a dogfight for the lead at the end here, ladies and gentlemen. And Victoria quick to play on that as she shoves the 95 up the racetrack. Can't make a clear. Here comes Mir chunking off all of that time, and he's with the top 3 again. We are 3 wide down the back straightaway. 3 wide. Mir taking Victoria off the track. Oh no, that's a caution. That's a caution. That is a caution. This will be the second or third restart of the evening as they come off a 3 and 4. We are clean, green, and racing from Beachside once again. A great start for Nico, Alex, as he's charging down the back straightaway with Mir and Victoria battling for second behind him. Mir going to try to set up a pass off of 4. Can't quite get there. Victoria a little loose off the corner panel of Mir. Here comes Mir for the lead. Not wasting any time. Here he is. Coming through 3 and 4. The white flag is out from Ocean City, side by side down the front straightaway. Here comes Raf. Raf shoving his way to the lead. Here he comes. Mir gonna go in for it. Mir is gonna take the win with a send of the century off a 3 and 4. That had to be one of the biggest sends. Kelly from the booth, do you have a copy, good sir?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Listen, man, if that wasn't the send of a century off a 3 and 4 that I've ever seen, then I don't know what to tell you. That was one of the biggest Hail Marys that I think I've seen. And not only that, it stuck. You got the win. And honestly, I don't blame you for going for it like that. You were up front pretty much the entire night, racing for your life, and you were given the opportunity and you took it, and you finally end up in victory lane in the RRX late model tour. How you feeling tonight?
Other than feeling really sick, I feel great, honestly. Winning cures all that.
I mean, yeah, man. From going from not even sure that you were coming tonight because of your sickness, which I hope again you feel better, to absolutely not totally mollywop in the field, but you were definitely showing some crazy speed today that has been there these past few weeks. You just haven't been able to really show it. You put it on full display tonight, and you came home with the win. That in and of itself is a big dub for you and Team 11 moving forward. I think that puts Swift Motorsports with 3 drivers, each with a win. Only winless driver on your team right now is Marcus. You're the 3rd driver to win for your team. What you got to say on that?
Well, I found the line like right away after qualifying. I'm like, if I send it on entry just a tiny bit and then just tap the brake on exit, then I'll stay on the inside line. And that's what I was doing the whole race. And then I just saw people like using the apron. I'm like, is that allowed? But yeah, it was a good race. Raf did kind of send me like a couple times, but hey, it's hard racing. I'll take any of that. But I won't. I won't take cars coming up into me and not clearing themselves. So I did show my displeasure towards Raf, and hey, it's hard racing. But on that final lap, he did send me into 1 and 2, so I just gave it back to him, and somehow actually won the race from that.
Dude, it was definitely one of the more cinematic passes in RRX, at least at least so far. I'm definitely gonna make the JD Media channel this week as we make a post about everything that's happened since our last post. But dude, all I can say is congratulations on your victory tonight here from Beachside. That was a crazy win, and I'm sure Rowdy's looking down from the heavens above and definitely giving a nod of approval with your aggressive move for the win tonight.
Yeah, that one was for Kyle Busch and for everyone who needs to take their sickness seriously. And the Golden Bonnie wasn't so golden today, huh?
All right. Thank you for talking with us, Mir. We're going to disconnect
no
now, and then you can rejoin if you wish. If not, we will see you next time.
Yep, see you later.
Well, Raph, I'm sure you're not feeling really anything besides a little bit disappointed, especially coming away with a 2nd place when you seemingly had the lead for good off of 1 and 2, and then one of the most bonsai passes I think we've seen in RRX history gets Mir his first ever win of the season. You two had a lot of run-ins tonight. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I don't think anybody's really questioning that. I think it's a little rough to say that there were some fair moves tonight between you two. What do you got to say on tonight's performance from Ocean City or Beachside?
First of all, it was like I'm just gonna say GG and like congratulations to the 11 car, even though he tangled with like 80 something, and I got like that triggered me like really bad. Uh, he beat me fair and square on the final lap. So I mean, I thought I had it like coming off 1 and 2, like you said. But I was also expecting something to happen like on the very last corner because like on the restarts it's like really easy to pass people when everybody's like bunched up together. So yeah, I'm not surprised that he was able to make that move, and I'm not surprised that he took the win considering he led the most laps, got the halfway win, and yeah. I mean, could have been worse honestly. Like at least I didn't wreck out, and at least there was like another caution that could like save my race and help me get like my 4th podium of the season. So now it's just trying to grind a little bit more so I can get a few wins by the end of the season, and maybe try to reach that 5 pole milestone. Because you'll see why.
Definitely. And another thing to add is, honestly, I think part of the reason why you were expecting something to happen on the lesson, part of the reason I didn't expect what Mir did on that last lap is because I don't think that move would have worked, and I don't think it did work in the modifieds. I think it probably would have ended a lot more horribly, actually, in the modifieds if he had done that in those cars. But the fact that it's a late model and the fact that it's a slightly different setup compared to those, and I think that is arguably the reason why he was able to pull off such a crazy move like that. And like you said, he beat you fair and square. He beat you within the rules. He didn't cut. He didn't cheat. He didn't really do anything on that last lap besides do a Hail Mary and a half and claim the win as he, I guess, in the end, rightfully deserved because he was the dominant car of tonight. And I don't think it really would have felt right if anybody else had ended up in victory lane. But besides that, you had a hard-fought day today. You were up at the front, keeping Mir honest, even if you weren't the overall dominant car tonight. You were keeping that 11 team on their toes, and I think that is something that nobody should scoff at tonight. Going into next week, how does a race like tonight build up your confidence?
It does like boost it up like really, really, like gives it like a really big push, honestly, because Tuesday was like Tuesday. Y'all know what happened. I finished P8, had a really, really bad race. Didn't have the pace, didn't win the pole even, didn't win nothing pretty much. It was a horrible points day. And now to just like get all these points and finish, being able to battle for the lead, it's it like boosts my confidence for next weekend.
Especially since I believe this is the first time, with respect, that you have finished in front of Victoria. Again, championship might still be a little bit out of question for you and Team 32, but this is an immense step forward as she was off her A game today. She was not the fastest car today, and that showed with how quickly Mir was able to catch up to her tonight, as well as Nico Alex. You two were definitely the class of the field tonight, and I think that's got to feel pretty damn good going into next week, which we actually end up in a bullring-style racetrack at Wake County Speedway. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I don't think it's slightly smaller than this track, so that should be interesting for you and how you guys attack that race next week. But overall, not a bad night for you and Team 32. You guys finished second. Dose, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Thank you for talking to us, Rocket Man. We will talk to you next week after Wake County.
Right. See you and good night.
Sleepy Boy is probably going to sleep now. Yeah, I got you, man. Nico Alex. It is JD Kelly from the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah.
Now, going into this race, I assumed that you have been at this racetrack before. I don't remember exactly. Have you been at this racetrack before?
It don't look familiar to me, so I go say no.
Okay. Just wanting to clarify that. But putting that aside now, hey, at the end there, you were battling for the lead. You weren't necessarily the fastest car tonight, but you weren't. I wouldn't even say that you were the slowest either.
No,
when
I was. I said the slowest time.
Well, even then, you kept Victoria honest when you two were running up at the front. You didn't let her get away by any means necessary. And overall, even though Mir was able to catch up to you guys within, I guess, 10 laps of his incident, which was crazy now that I think about that, you managed to come out, smelling pretty fine on that restart. You up at the front, kind of a sitting duck, and it showed a little bit. But even at the end there, you were still fighting with Raph at the bitter end until you guys unexpectedly got Hail Married by the man himself in the 11, and he got the win and took it out from right under both of your guys' shoes. What do you got to say on that?
It's whatever. I was racing. I was lagging quite a bit on my on a little bit after, like, I think it's like a lap after the restart. So that was a little bit when I was fighting with the 45, which is why you kind of saw my lines not really being too consistent. I was just getting stutters halfway randomly, and sometimes I try to turn and the game would freeze for a little bit, so I'd overshoot the turn a little bit. But it was cool to see them, racing pretty much the entire time. That last dive bomb, I replayed the race a little bit over my head, and I really don't think I could have done anything to really change that outcome. I was kind of just waiting until they shot a move. But yeah, congrats to the Net 11 for the win. Congrats to Raf for second place, man. You guys are the faster drivers. I want to apologize a little bit to the 45. I kind of, tapped there inside and made them spin out and crash. They claim I brake checked them on T1. I would claim otherwise. I just kind of let off, and it just, they slammed into the back of me, sent me forward. But yeah, I ain't too used to these tank chassis cars. 100%. They're very different to the chassis shit I run. I can't be as consistent as I am with those. But
Yeah.
I tried. Sadly, I couldn't get anything better than I usually do.
Third. Hey, he's back in third. The man, the myth, the legend. Third place runner. Third place legend right here. This
Yeah.
guy loves his he loves those trees, man. He loves the tres. The tres. He loves his tres. But hey, Nico, I still think there's big ups for you to come. We got a bull ring style racetrack next week in Wake County. It's again slightly smaller than this place, so I'm sure there'll be a lot more rubbing racing going on there. Once you get,
I will not be attending the next race. Sadly, I will not be on the island.
well, darn it. He just started that position 3 streak again, and it's already going to end just as quickly as
I go on vacation to Tobago, so I will not be here from the 28th to the 1st.
Hey man, you have a good vacation, man. I hope you have a great fucking vacation, bro.
Yeah.